Back Alchemist, this is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter, Amarelo, and the great Vinney. Smile, Chopra. Vinney, where are you calling from today? I know we finally just got service. You were somewhere in the mountains.
I'm in the mountains right here, brother. That's the front of my house. Actually, front. Oh yeah, that is. And this is the this side of the house. So I just, have been cooked up inside our home for some time, and it's 58 degrees outside, but it's so comfortable. I said, okay, let's get out there and enjoy some fresh air. It's so important to get fresh air and be happy, just like my cap says today.
Smile and be happy always. I like it because today's principle is 35, which is build an awesome team around you, which if you build an awesome
Yes.
team, you're smiling all the time and it makes your business grow faster. Actually, I just texted a gentleman and he said, should I start today or should I start in 2 weeks? And I was like, well, you're hiring a team. Like, yes, start today and let the team work while you're on vacation, right? If you hire a good team and they're running,
Totally.
uh, it makes a lot of sense, right? Look, that's what
Mhm.
it's almost like passive income when you have a team working in your sleep, right? They're working while you're going. This actually goes back to what you said to me a while back with your international teams, Vinny. You said you would send them
Yes,
something
yes.
at night and they'd be working all night, and then you'd wake up in the morning, it'd already be done, and there you
It's
were.
ready to go. It's ready to implement. It's so important to multiply yourself. How can we multiply ourselves by having other partners? I say, assistant word is kind of wrong word kind of thing, but I like the word, partners, team members is another word I like. So I like to replace as much as I can assistants to team members, team partners, equity owners, equity partners, all those things. Because the more we give respect to our team members, how we behave, how we respect their time, their value within our company, they will work hard for you. They'll work doubly, triply hard for you. And you want to keep them happy. We're going to talk about this principle. It's very near and dear to me because to grow yourself, you got to multiply. You got to not be trying to do everything and all that. That doesn't work. It has at least not worked for me.
So this is the power of teamwork itself is you're able to multiply. You're able to achieve significantly more when you're not alone, and
Yes.
it obviously scales you up. Now, a lot of people say that more people, more problems, right? More, people will say that it's hard to
Mhm.
find good help, or that it's I'd rather work alone because now it's done the right way every time. What do you say to those folks who are solopreneurs
No,
just stuck doing it by themselves?
you know, that's not true. That's totally not true. I used to think like that many, many years back, maybe 30 years back. But then I saw when I hired my first VA, it's been about 30, 35 years back. And I grew upward and what's word? Oh, now Fiverr, right? Everything for
Fiverr,
$5.
Upwork, yep.
That's how this whole Yep. Guru.com. I don't know if they're still in business, but I used to use that, site also to find some professionals. Guess what? There are special people, very, very wonderful, very talented people who can do the job better than I can, in digital marketing, in website designing, in writing articles, in doing research, in calling people, in designing your appointments, everything. I mean, you could just enjoy the time, the freedom that you get. And what people say, Vinny, you only pay them $3 an hour, $4 5 an hour. That's true. I just hired Lewis hired somebody for $3, and he's so motivated right there in Philippines and Pakistan and Bangladesh and India because that money multiplies. See, it's 86 times. If I give $1 from American dollar, right? In India, it's 86 rupees, it says. And I think in Pakistan, it's 250 rupees, Pakistan. So it's a good living, brother. I'm telling you. I mean, we have, a very special lady we hired, very talented, and she's so amazing. She's able to get a good, nice works pay. for the whole month, I think $550 a month, a month. I mean, if I'm making $550 an hour, does it make sense for me to hire somebody? Yes, it does. For lots of us, for everybody. I mean, I just want to say with conviction, because I used to say, you have a partner or virtual assistant or international assistant. People say, no, 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 I don't. I said, well, look up in the mirror tomorrow morning when you are brushing your teeth, ladies or gentlemen, there is that your assistant. Because you are the assistant part of the time of the day. Out of 10 hours, 12 hours you work, guess what? You are really, really, really working for $5 and $3 and $4 many hours of that day.
So now that we know it's not important to do the task, every task yourself, it actually makes sense to have cheaper tasks or tasks that somebody else could do for more affordably, to have somebody else do those hourly
Yes.
tasks. Those sometimes many of them are brain
Yes.
tasks or there's monotonous tasks. Strategies for building a high performance team. What are some ways that you can get people who are awesome versus just people who do the job? Like, how do you tell the difference, and how do you like set yourself up to succeed right from the beginning when you're hiring?
I mean, that is the number one thing. Number one thing in many, many companies I've been, and all the interactions I've had with my, all the vast experience of 47 years or whatever in USA, the key thing is right hire. It's the first thing. You cannot build on false foundation. That's the word I say. And how do we find them? By asking behavioral questions. Don't let them give you their resume and all the degrees and everything, but you ask them very pertinent questions. We got to know what we are asking them for, what they'll be doing. Are they motivated? Are they self-motivated? What is their history? Because history repeats itself. When people say, oh, I did this, that, and all that, and I had trouble, I look at gaps in their employment. I look at their, biggest thing is can do factors and will do factors, I call them, right? And you got to make sure that they are totally on a probation for first 90 days, first 30 days even,
And
and
what
make
are
sure that
can
they
do
give you
factors? What are
utmost.
can do factors and will do factors? If we can go back to that.
Yeah, see, can do and will do. They could have good skills. They could have all the knowledge. They could have all the tools. The key thing is, would they be in your mission, your vision of what you're trying to go, where you are trying to go? Will they do it while you are not looking at them? you know, are they motivated? Are they passionate? Are they excited about what you are hiring them for? And then the biggest thing I find is, brother, we got to not only involve them, but we need to inspect and then respect and also train them. The biggest trouble is we hire the right people, but we throw them in the ocean, Red Sea, I call it, without training them, and then we expect them to perform. See, we need to have SOPs, standard operating procedures, and videos and other things to teach them what this job requirement is. And the softwares and all the things that we are using now, we need to make sure, give them time to learn. Watch the YouTube videos and give you demonstration of what they're going to be doing. So we need to
That
train them well. If it's salespeople, I don't care what good a salesperson is. I want to see their script. I want to listen to them. I want to, have somebody in my team really teach them the skills that they should have before. But then they get immersed into the product and the service, and they know ins and outs of it and handle objections before they come, and they don't stumble.
so you actually just talked about leadership and team development. You actually have somebody train and like bring them and develop them along the way. And I'm sure there's roadmaps
Yes.
and milestones. So let's go to the next one. It's actually going back to number three, but the impact on business success. How does having a good, strong, solid team that has great leadership in place that is moving towards the goal, how does that impact the business?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that is the real key, real key. The impact of any business is, of course, revenues, right? How are you going to bring revenues and cut expenses? Any business on this in this world, it belongs to that, right? And what's your ROI, return on investment, return on money, return on time? Those are the two great investments, right? We should be always looking at. And then building of the equity in the business, the name, the brand, and the whole bit. So essentially, what we are talking about today is finding the right people. Don't just hire the first one you are getting and you say, "Oh, I'm excited. I think she or he's going to do a great job." No, no, no. Slow down. Slow down. Look at two, three, four, five, six candidates, maybe 100 candidates, and then find the one. Because if you hire wrong person, you spend 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks to train them, and they don't work out, it's all gone.
This is so true, man.
Time
Vinny,
wasted.
we go through 100 applications a week in Alchemist Nation hiring our sales team, and we only bring on
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 people, and it's literally
yeah,
100 applications that we're going through. And it's
I
been
love
true.
it.
I've said this to my recruiting manager. I've told her it's like, Crystal, you are really pulling the best of people. And she's like, yeah, like I went through like 97 people before I got to these three. So it really is
Relate to
a
her, and
process.
kudos to her, because that's what it's all about. See, if we are not sure about somebody performing what we are asking them to, do it, slow down to really grow your company, slow down to hire the right people. See, one person can really make or break. Everybody, every team member needs to be totally in sync with the vision, with the skills and the can do and will do factors like we talked about. The biggest thing is if there is a negative, if they are not performing first week, they are just giving you excuses, fire them. Poison really spreads through the organization very quickly. The
It's like a
corporate
bad apple.
culture, it's a bad apple. It's a bad apple. And it's like, poison even spreads much faster than bad apple, right?
True.
Apple will take time to get rotted and all that stuff. I really say that, because one negative employee or partner or team member can spoil because what they talk about. And then it not only is their fault, they bring down the other team members. See, the
Absolutely.
standards are lowered and compromised. When somebody's not doing well and somebody's kicking their butt and everything, and they're doing so many great things, and we acknowledge them, but they say, you know what? I don't know. How much is this guy making or whatever? And they talk. You think that they don't talk, they talk.
They talk. They
They know
talk.
the real deal. Talk, they talk. And that's why you need a proper open communication. Open communication is the number one thing, literally number one thing, because the key thing is you got to make sure that they are fully excited. Now you say, Vinny, how can they be always at the tempo? No, 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 no. I don't mean that. There are ups and downs in every business and everything, but we need to move the needle every day. We need to look at the ratios. We look at the calls, look at the scripts, listen to their, and train so that they are really motivated. If we have somebody in our team, in sales team or marketing team, they are not getting the results that you're expecting, and then you blame it to them, find out what are the obstacles. And let's look through those obstacles and sit down. And then when they leave your room or your call or everything, do they feel good about your call and the training you did and the mindset you raised them to? Or do they say, you know what, that was total wastage of 1 hour? Oh my gosh, that person never heard me. And he just kept on talking and talking and talking and talking. My problem is something different.
The worst salesman in the world is one without ears.
Yeah, so true, so true. We should listen. That's why God gave us one mouth, which I'm talking to with, and the two eyes to look at, and two ears to hear. So looking and hearing, and then of course we got third eye and fourth eye, right? So we should be only talking 20% of the 100%.
Which is tough for us on a podcast because we have to talk the
It
entire
is.
time in order to make the podcast successful. So in this one scenario, we've got to keep talking. You got to keep listening. So if you're having a blast learning, I'm about to ask Vinney one of those questions that brings up something you will never forget. So Vinney, if we can go back to a time, because you have a lot of amazing teams. You have now it's almost 30 teams that you've invested in, 30 businesses that you're
Yes.
in. What
Yes.
is your favorite business that you still run that makes you the most amount of money? And which one, and of that business, who is the employee that you hired or the staff member that you hired that really opened it up or really like changed the game for you? So it's kind of a two-part question. What is
Ye-
your best, most cash flowing business for you personally? And then who was that hire?
uh,
How did you come across them?
I love it. I love it. This is so great. And again, and my biggest monies I have made is through syndication. That book, Apartment Syndication Made Easy, from $7, little boy coming from India to over $1 billion portfolio, AUM, then 1.5 billion, and then limited partner, general partner, almost 2 billion. The key thing is it's the syndication, the power of helping investors, helping people to really invest with me, with my companies and all, and then increasing their value of the assets and returning money back and all that. One hire, which I can think about always, always, is my vice president of accounting. She has stayed with me 17 years. Actually, I really owe a lot because she could run the biggest business.
We just lost Vinny. So he's saying his vice president of accounting in his syndication business. So where he was raising capital for real estate deals, now he raises capital for other types of investments. And what he's saying is that the best hire. So what I asked him was, what is your best business of all the businesses you've been in? He's got over 30 businesses right now that he's actively invested in. What is the best one? He said it was syndication. And then I asked him what was the best hire, and he shared that it was his vice president of accounting. Now, Vinny, you were just sharing about your vice president of accounting, and you dropped off for a second. So welcome back. Let me unmute you here, brother.
Mute, unmute. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've just been walking here, in front of my home so that I can, I don't want to go down the slope and come back. I just have a little bit pain in my right knee. So I'm going for MRI next week and everything. Hopefully everything will be fine. I love to walk a lot, as you know. So I just thought I'll walk outside our home rather than on treadmill and all. No, thank you. So what you're saying is so true. You asked me one employee. Then also at the peak, we had 158 team members, right? I would say we hired people down the line, but one employee who is employee is she's a partner, and she invested in my deals, and she became multi-millionaire, and all that, which I'm so proud. And I gave her bonuses and other stuff, and she has and never missed a dollar, a dime actually, dime, and that's the beauty of having a great, trustworthy partner and, a team member, I would say, who is upbeat, who is doing, work. I mean, we talk, I mean, now we have cut down our, portfolios and everything, but I mean, she's available and I'm available, and it's just exciting, very exciting,
So, Vinny,
and
how did
that's
you come across this accountant? How did you like? She's the vice president of your accounting. Like, how did she start? What position was she in originally? How did you find her? And how did it progress to the
sure.
monster portfolios that you guys invested with together?
Totally. 17 years back, 17, 18 years back, she was an investor. She was a CPA, full-fledged CPA, working in San Francisco. And we met her, my other partner that we don't do business together. She's got her own company. And then, this VP of finance, she was accounting manager, I think, when we started. And then when we split up. I promoted her to the vice president, position. She chose me to stay along with me, everything. I'm very blessed. And when I started my 2014, my new company, Monil Investment Group, was born. That's only 7 years old, brother. 7 years. And but I just remember that, it just gave me eagle wings because I didn't was making decisions. I was making all the, right choices and analyzing properties and all that. So I'm very proud of that. But she was right along with me and my daughter. Again, the other person, partner, I should say employee at all, Monica, my daughter. I'm so blessed to have her 7 years with me also. When we started the company on the carpet right there in Bethesda, Maryland, when she was going through some tough time, Monica was, and we were there. We left our home for 1.5 year in California. Our house was empty, well, furnished but empty because we lived over there due to, something and a medical reason. But that's
Now,
when I
Vinny,
started this
what is it your
company.
daughter does? Because now that is so true. She has to be one of your most powerful partners. She's been running
She,
Monil for
she
you for the last
is.
7 years. Why? I know you
You
raised
bet,
her,
you
right? So I
bet.
know how you met her. I know how I know how you found her. But how did that form? And then what does she do for your company?
That's so exciting. She's very intelligent, very beautiful young lady. And the thing was, she was working for, I think, Lexus International in marketing in Westwood in the Hollywood area when she had, illness and so forth. So that's when, I just thought about, okay, let's get Monica in. And she always liked real estate also. She saw daddy, buying things, all these she was born in 80s, mid 80s, like that. And so, I think it was a natural progression. If you ask her today, how did daddy train you? Guess what she's going to say? He didn't train me a thing. He threw me into the ocean. That's the truth. That's the real truth. She learned it. She's so intelligent and she learned the procedures and she's so articulate. And, she's been managing our portfolio with, Greystar, Property Management, RAM Partners, Bell Partners, RKW, all these different third party companies. But she's been dealing with my teams and everything right from 2014. So I'm very, very thankful to her, and she's a partner in the business with my wife and I. We're a boutique company. We're a small company. We're small people.
I love it. So anybody who meets you in person, Vinny, at the summit, they'll recognize Vinny's not a big guy. He's just very wealthy. He's done very good with money, but he's a big personality. A lot of love and a lot of caring for everybody that you meet in person.
Uh,
So for a reminder for
you
each
know,
of you, the summit is coming up. We are October 18th to the 20th. Tickets are for sale now. You can go to
yes, yes.
summit.alchemistation.com. If you want to meet Vinny in person, this is one of the few times where you do actually get to meet him in person, shake his hand. If you're lucky enough and you've got some money to invest, Vinny will probably give you his phone number. You guys can get on a call afterwards. And he's really got a wonderful, wonderful program for investors. Vinny,
Uh,
let's jump off the call. But before we do, what is a piece of advice you would give to somebody right now who is they know they have to scale further? Maybe they've already got a family office. Maybe they've got like let's call it 10 million or $50 million worth of assets, but they're
yes.
still stuck in the business. They're 50 years old, they're 60 years old, and they just want to separate. What piece of advice would you give them? How many hires does it take to get themselves out of the business? And how would they make sure that the team is awesome with them not being there babysitting everybody every day? That's a
Oh
lot.
my gosh. That is no, no, no. The biggest thing is please take step. If you're solopreneur, please find out what are certain things that you don't like doing. So take a plain sheet of paper right now, or when you are not in the car, when you go back home, please re-listen to this one. We'll be broadcasting it also, into my channels and Gualter's channels, later on as a podcast. But remember, you got to write down what you love the most on the left side and what you hate on the right side. Or you could find somebody to do a better job on doing these things. That's all it takes, literally. Then you just go ahead and on a spree. Okay, what is that person? Many people might say, you know what? I want all to keep myself in the money. Guess what? It's an investment. It's not an expense. Having a virtual or international assistant or people in USA or other parts of the world, they will make your life easy. Believe me, they have made my life so easy, so easy. And we have all kind of partners in my all other businesses, and they're doing much better job than me. I cannot find time to learn what they're doing, and they are doing it with the top priorities, and they are accountable. And I just meet for 15, 20, 30 minutes a week, and this is so exciting. So please take that step to get people uh, under you, so that you could really, really free up time for family, for doing things, for travels. And I promise you, ROI is very big. Return on investment and return on time, ROT, I call it. Return of time on time is very big number.
This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra, who built over $1.6 billion worth of real estate in his portfolio and then partnered up with others to have $2.5 billion. So Vinney is on a mission to build millionaires. He didn't say 100 millionaires, he said 1 million millionaires, and that's why he's part of Alchemist Nation. That's why he shows up to these calls. So you're getting a lot of value. Share this with your friends. Share this on your page. And if you want to come to the summit, go to summit.alchemiststation.com. Meet Vinney in person. We do this call every single Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you next week.
The beer, all kind of glasses, brother. I'm going to be ordering and bringing lots of them, maybe 250, 300 pairs of these.
We'll
Last
be
year,
getting
they
these
were big
glasses.
hit. I would love everybody, everybody to get one. We'll even put it on your chair the day I speak, keynote speech, and all that. It's so fun. Life is fun. We got to make it fun. We got to make it a game, fun, and have the best life ever. Best life ever. And I was just interviewed yesterday from brother Jeffrey Holtz and Gillian Sidoti, my very good friends, and that will be also coming out out in the open. I also had a very good, oh my gosh, I talked to Deepak Chopra's brother, the big author, very big personality. I'm Chopra, Chopra, Deepak Chopra and Sanjeev Chopra. Sanjeev Chopra just went through my prayers are with him. He had a very good surgery, on the knee, and it was such a pleasure to meet him and so forth. Yeah.
That's
Gratitude,
wild.
gratitude, gratitude. You got to just send the positivity all around you and be thankful for this life we have. It's a beautiful life for all of us. If it's not beautiful, it's our problem. It's our fault, really.
Our fault.
We got to make it happy, successful, and blissful.
You heard it here. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
See ya.